welcome to Doki Doki Precure, episode 4 on Metanorn. This episode title, I Will Not Become a Precure, which is an Alice-themed episode since last week they hinted at her possibly becoming a Precure. And this episode opens up with Alice at an elementary school, I'm assuming, and she's being bullied by a couple other students that are a little bit bigger than her, and they're picking on her. And while that's going on, Mana and Rika arrive to kind of like calm things down and save their friend. So I guess giving you a hint of the fact that these three characters are childhood friends, even though it seems like Mana is more of a childhood friend with Rika than anything. So, but it's nice to see this change. For me anyway, it's new. I know it's not entirely new, it's part of the Precure. I've done it in the past, but hey, it was new to me, so that's all that counts. And after that, we get a short little scene of Alice sitting across from Mana and Rika. They're just having tea. It's like normal, casual to them, until Alice reveals that she found the orange fairy named Lance that they left behind in the last episode, not realizing they left him there, her there. I think it's a her. But that's not the only thing she reveals. She reveals the fact that she saw Mana transform into Cured Heart, like I think the first two episodes, yeah, second episode, and she's coming back to her and saying like, I have, proof you transformed then, but I'm not gonna expose this to the world. I'm gonna keep it a secret, but you have to let me be your producer. And both of them are kind of like confused. I was confused too. I was like, producer? What are you talking about? They're not idols, so how are you producing them? But I guess the way she made it come off is she's gonna help them, I guess, with finding the monsters and defeating the monsters. Cause no little than like 5 seconds or 5 minutes hanging out with her, her butler Sebastian gets he gets a warning on his little tablet, and it says the selfish is in the area attacking people. So I guess Alice kind of takes them along on like a mission, and it was pretty funny watching Mana and Rika and their cure forms like on the roof of a car. Like it was like something like Need for Speed or Tokyo Drift, that kind of movie. Because if the limo kind of like drifts by and like stops, like kind of funny. And Mana almost gets sick, which was weird. I guess she's maybe suffering from a little bit of motion sickness. So, but before that, we had Ira. He summoned the monsters of the week with like an iPod this week with like it shoots like laser beams out at speakers and everything. And during the fight, the monster kind of starts beeping, and Ira looks back like, "What's going on?" And not realizing the monster he chose from like a little iPod thing is running out of battery, so it dies, which was kind of random, but hey, it works, whatever. And during the fight, Mana and Rika are fighting in their cure forms, and Alice kind of sits there with earplugs and drinks tea while watching the other girls fight. And Lance is confused. He's like, "Why aren't you helping your friends?" So I guess they established something that maybe those two are already contracted or something like that. They're already a team, but maybe I think Alice refuses to transform. Which is kind of the theme of the episode. You have Lance. He was like asking her several times during the episode, "You want to become a Precure, become a Precure, all that," for a good chunk of the episode, which was fine. I mean, he just wants. He's totally told in the episode that he was sent to this world to find a Precure to be a partner with, and he was brought to her. So kind of like this destiny thing. She can't really avoid it or hide from it. So yeah, this week we had two monsters. Like I said, we had the iPod thingy, and later on there was another one. I'll mention him later. But we got to the part where Lance is asking her several times, "Why don't you become a Precure? Your friends could use your help," things like that. But she refuses to, because little does Lance know, back in the day when she was with Rika and Mana back in their school, they're bullied, or she was bullied again, and Mana tries to step up and help her friend, but the bullies kind of turn on her because they have their older brother with them, so I guess they feel a little bit more more in, I don't know, they threaten better because they have backup. But anyway, they kind of get pushed too far, and they basically say Mana that no one likes you, you're annoying, the whole class hates you, and it kind of causes Mana to cry a little bit. And then, strangely out of the blue, Alice steps up, and she's, gets mad. And we've learned later that her grandpa taught her all these different martial arts, different, ways to defend herself and things like that. So she beats these kids, even the older kid, but at the same time, she's kind of traumatized by the fact that she hurt someone. So go back to a modern where she's at now. It explains why she doesn't want to be a precure. She's afraid that power is going to hurt someone. So she has to. I don't know. Later on, she eventually does give in, but it's only until after she remembers that her grandpa said that with the power of martial arts, she can. It's not meant to hurt people with. You can use it to protect your friends, protect people with it, and she kind of, I guess, two and two click together, and she kind of figures, well, I could use the precure power to help, and I might as well help people. And there's a similar character in the previous precure series, Heartcatch, named Izki. She's kind of the same. She has martial arts background. She's very proper, just like Alice, who just doesn't really show much emotion during the episode. But we only met her this first time, so who knows what she'll do. But anyway, they both have similar backgrounds, and even their their cure forms, which in Heartcatch, Itsuki becomes Sunshine, and in this series, Alice becomes Rosetta, which is fine. I kind of wanted Clover, like I said before, back in the couple episodes, but Rosetta is fine. I'm sticking with that. And yeah, she uses the warmth of the sun, basically. And Itsuki and Heartcatch is kid similar. She had the sun ability, so you had that going on. And Alice's power is able to use, like, she's a defense type. She can put shields up and block beams and stuff like that, which is kind of cool when you have. I guess, well, they haven't really shown much of their powers. I mean, for all I know right now, all of them are pretty much kind of arranged based, which seems to be the way things go. And yeah, like I said, those two are kind of similar, but I'm pretty sure this character type has not been, it's not nothing new. I think it's probably been done. It maybe not even a Precure series, it can be some other series. But for me, I thought it was weird to have the rich girl that you would think would be the cowardly, scared type of girl. But it's nice that she can hold her own. But I wonder how long that'll go. But anyway, she gets there and saves Mana and Rika from this boombox. It's the second monster of the episode. This giant boombox who like talks and raps. He's like a big rapper, I guess. He's like no ain't no thing and stuff like that. But during the fight, it was funny that they had this like it was plugged into the wall because I already got mad last time because his other one ran out of power. So he's like, I guess they just hooked it to a wall this time. I thought that was kind of out there and random, but it is a kids show, so I'm willing to let that go. Because it was still funny. And after they defeat the boombox guy, Ira leaves naturally. The whole "I'll get you next time" thing. And after that, they start talking about, okay, well now we have another precure, and one of the fairies mentions that Cure Sword is still out there. And Alice is kind of like, Cure Sword, like who's that? She's never heard of her. But she starts thinking, she's like, oh, I realized something. I think I might know the identity of this character. And she happens to be next to a poster with Makoto as her other name, the idol version of her. So, and Mana and Rick are kind of like staring at like, what? Like, no way. That ain't possible. But as a viewer, audience member, we know who the Precure are. It's no mystery to us. But the characters, I guess, is fun. Maybe funny, maybe watching them figure it out on their own. But I don't know, I think it's silly. You would think more characters would have figured it out, like more background characters, but that's the way it goes. I think it's the whole mystery and fun of the show for the younger audience. They get to watch the characters kind of figure things out. And that brings me down to the random section, which is just random I thought. The transformation for Alice into Cure Rosetta is pretty cool. It's bright, like the other ones, but she's kind of jumping around, doing things like that. kind of fun watching. And the last random thing, this series, yeah, it's kind of come out of limb saying has a story, because every anime has a story, so, and every Precure has a story, but this one seems to be more like going with the flow. Smile last season, it seemed to be a flow at the beginning, like he introduced the 5 girls, but later it gets kind of weird where you have the characters that some of them turn invisible, some of them switch bodies, some of them become fairies, they become kids, get shrunk, little things like that. So in Doki, it seems to be like they're going from like one episode that leads right into the next one, like a continuous story basically, where you're not gonna have. I'm pretty sure we will have it later in the end of the near the end, where we have all these one-shot random things that happen. So who knows? Maybe it might be more of like a point A to point B type of story, but it might be point A, B, C, D, E, F, G by the time we get down to episode 30. But anyway, enough talk on that. So I'm wondering, out of the 3 side villain things, who's gonna be the one that does like that the Precure now? Like, make turns into kids, switch bodies, things like that. Nothing they won't ever do. They probably will, because they gotta have something to do for 48 episodes, or however long the series will be. They've yet to do a very short, like 26 episode series. They do. Big commercial shocker to some people. So, anyway, episode 5 will be about Makoto and her change from, I guess, revealed to everyone that she's Cure's sword. Well, I mean the main cast anyway. So, that's my review for episode 4 of Doki Doki Precure. Catch you next time for episode 5.